So while local service ads are great, I love local service ads. They work terrifically well. They're not the answer to everything, but I love them, and here's why. First of all, local service ads are the only service ads or the only ads on Google that you can have today, and I'm recording this in the summer of 2022, where you pay not per click, but per lead. It is relatively easy to show up top in local service ads. Remember, there are 3 ads up top in Google. There's usually an image of the lawyer and the review, the rankings, number of stars, and then you can click on the link and look at the profile, pick up the phone and call, and if it's a legit lead, a legit inquiry, it will be counted against your account, and if it's not, then you can dispute it and get your money back. Local service ads are great because they show up on top and because you pay only for leads. Local service ads are not great because the cost has been steadily increasing. Google started this program back in 2015 in a very, very limited market, and they have been expanding it. And as the case goes with Google, the more demand there is, the more popular service, the higher the cost. So it used to be like $25 flat everywhere. Now we see prices anywhere between $25 and $300 per lead. And we accept that the cost per lead is going to continue to climb. Those leads are great, but there's a very limited space where you can show up there, and you shouldn't be deploying just that type of advertising because many people, majority of people, do not click on the ads in Google when they're searching for a service provider like a lawyer. They will skip those leads and will go down below. However, 5 to 10% people who are looking for a lawyer, it's estimated, are actually going to click on the ads. Here's what you should know about local service ads before you venture out that way. First of all, it is not a do-it-yourself project. As most things in digital marketing, you need to have experts working on that. Same with legal stuff. You do not want just a prospect going and saying, I am going to read everything about this law and go and represent myself in the court. Chances are they're not going to get the same outcome as they would with an expert lawyer. Same thing with local service ads. Why? Because there are so many more elements to the success of those ads than just what the eye just sees, right? Number one, you need to make sure, and there are numerous factors that determine whether you're going to be placed up top or not. Number one, you need to make sure that you collect reviews on a regular basis. For that, you need to have a specialized tool, preferably to have a specialized tool that asks your client to provide you with those reviews. Very important. If you have less reviews than your competitors and all other factors are held constant, you're not going to show up in the top 3. Second, you need to have a proper budget allocated to it. Third, you need to have a competitive, great website. Why would I be talking about the website when we're talking about local service ads? Because most people, when they're looking at your listing in the local service ads, they're probably going to click on the link to your website, go to your website and check you out before picking up the phone and calling. They are probably going to do the same thing with 3, 5, 7, 10 other law firms. If your website projects a subpar image of your law firm, what is the probability that they're going to talk to you? Low. You want to have a competitive, great website so that when they get to it, they think that you're just as legit or better than your competition. Other factors that impact quality of the outcome for your local service ads is how responsive you are to those ads. Do you pick up the phone more often than not? If you don't pick up the phone, Google is going to derank you and feature somebody else in that space. Again, it's a very limited space, just 3 ads there. Next, proximity to the searcher. So if you are 5 miles away from the person who is looking for a lawyer who practices in the same practice areas as you do, and there are a whole bunch of lawyers that are much closer than 5-mile radius, chances are your ad is not going to show up. So it works very well on the hyper-local level, but beyond that, not quite as good. This is where if you want to quickly start getting more leads, you want to deploy pay-per-click advertising in Google because that gives you ability to show up anywhere you want to show up, whereas local service ads are hyper-local. Next, obviously, bid amount that you're going to have is important. Yes, you're now bidding on those leads. It has changed in the recent year or so. It used to be that you just paid a flat fee and you didn't need to bid. Today it's bidding. This is how Google determines who is going to go up there. Last factor, and this one may seem goofy, but it's important, your business hours. You know how you have your Google profile for your law firm? You should have business hours listed there. In fact, Google Business Profile is incredibly important. You need to have it as optimized as possible, having all the relevant information there. Super important. Again, your marketing company should be taking care of this for you. By the way, something that I preach a lot, from what we've seen, the greatest differentiator for law firms that are very successful and those who are not doing so great is the marketing team that they picked. We also know from numerous conversations that I've had with so many lawyers that most law firms are not very good at picking the best marketing company their money can buy. Because of that, I created a very easy to use checklist that you can use and should use in every interview that you have with a marketing company, and it will help you select the absolute best marketing team for your law firm. Download it down below. It's super easy to use. It will add maybe 30 seconds to your process, but you will see from the very first interview when you use that selection criteria that you are much better equipped to pick the best marketing team that your money can buy. Now, a few more things about local service ads. As is the case with all other marketing efforts, this one also needs to be measured and analyzed. Over time, your marketing company should be striving toward maximizing number of qualified leads that they're delivering to you through local service ads while lowering or optimizing the cost per lead. Super important. Without analysis, without monthly review of the data, you're not going to get optimized results. You will spend more and you will probably get fewer leads. This is super important to do it. Your ROI on these ads is going to be a function of how good of a marketing team you have, because good marketing team will work on all of those elements that I mentioned earlier, and they will deliver higher performance. So once again, in conclusion, download the checklist and use it in every single interview. It will make a world of difference for your law firm in just the next 6 to 12 months alone.